what is up, guys? Welcome back to another video with the homie Hector. So check it out. Today we got a 2005 Cadillac Escalade, and it has more than one problem, but we're gonna be addressing one problem today, which the customer has been complaining about for a little bit. It's a HVAC actuator. He had it replaced, but the symptom is still there. When you command the rear chingadera, it doesn't move, and it's because one of the doors inside the HVAC unit assembly is actually broken. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at it and swap it out for him. So check it out right off the bat. Cadillac Escalade, right? Look at the gauge. Look at all the gauges. I'm gonna go ahead and start it for you. Look, sitting here at idle, 5,000 RPM. Woo! Check engine light. All the gauges. Look at the oil gauge over here. The fuel gauge, is that the fuel gauge? No, that's the battery. Check engine light on. Service tire monitor. 5,000 RPM. We're fucking redlining this bitch at idle. All this, customer doesn't care about. He cares about this over here. This is the HVAC whole unit assembly. We went ahead and changed these actuators. Well, not me, somebody else did. But the door inside, which this controls, is actually broken. So we're gonna swap out this whole piece. This is from a junkyard. It actually came from an 04 Tahoe, but this one is an Escalade. All right, so the part we're gonna be changing is over here on my right. Let me go ahead and flip the screen for you. All right, so that HVAC module, that whole assembly lives up in there behind that housing right there. But in order to get this off, I gotta take this off, which means I gotta take this off, which means I gotta take that off, which also means I gotta take this off. So this comes off before that can come out. Gotta move that seat forward. So let's get to it. Alright, so there you go. That's that chingadera right there, that whole unit. Now before we unplug anything, we gotta drain the coolant because the heater core lives in here. And we also gotta recover the refrigerant because the evaporator also lives in here for the rear of the truck. So draining the coolant, recovering refrigerant, and then we can start unbolting everything. Take this one out and put that one back in there. Alright, so down here on the bottom of the truck, you can see the two AC lines that go in there, so it's got to be unbolted. But before I do that, the AC has to be recovered, and then these two lines are the heater lines that go up to the heater core, and those got to be, I think those are just clips. Let's see if I can get a better picture. I don't know how good you can see that, but let me go ahead and recover all the refrigerant, and then we can start unplugging shit. Okay? Okay. So all the refrigerant has been recovered. Now let me just go over something real quick. This is not hard to take off. There's only the 7mm that goes right there on that plastic. This clip right here that goes right there, and then this screw chingadera that goes right there. So it's only 3 things you're gonna have to take off. The rest of it is just pulling the panels and yanking them. And don't be afraid to pull, because they're only held in with clips that clip into holes like this. So don't be afraid to pull. If you break something, too bad. All right, so now to get the HVAC unit out, there's just 2 bolts right there. That, it's not a lot of work, but it is what it is. Honestly, I don't feel comfortable using this whole unit from a junkyard, but the customer supplied it, and this is what he wants to do. So you gotta give them what they want. You just gotta make sure that everything here looks exactly like that. And if you need to swap any parts, like for example, this is a new unit that we just put in. I just gotta make sure it's the same over here. Looks like it goes right here, so we'll see. We're gonna start swapping parts and then we'll bolt everything back in there. All right, so I'm down here under the truck. First thing I did was disconnect the AC lines. And what I did was I tucked them behind this fender liner, or you know, the wheel chingadera. Alright, now I tucked them back there so that when I unplug my coolant lines, I don't get any coolant in there. And you gotta get those off first because they're in the way. They actually go over and they cover the coolant lines. So get the AC off first. The AC lines come off first, then these coolant lines for the heater core come off. Now those are just clipped on there, so you gotta get the clips and pull them down, and you're probably gonna get coolant all over your face if you don't drain it properly. Even if you drain it, it's hard to get all of it out, so you might make a mess. Alright, so we're all disconnected under the car. The two AC lines are unplugged, the heater lines are unplugged, and there's one nut that's holding those the heater lines in place. Quick tip for you guys: what you're gonna need to disconnect the heater hose from the heater core is a master disconnect set, which I have right here. This is one from Lyle, part number 39900, and the one I used was the second one from the left. There's 2 13s for the AC lines and 1 10 for the heater. So that's what you're gonna need, and then you can take those off. Now we're ready to take this out. So, vamos. Alright, got the old unit out. That's what it looks like afterwards. Now, I struggled a little bit because I actually lied. When I said there was 2 13s for the AC, 1 for the heater, there's actually another one that's for the AC that's holding it in. So you got to take off 2 10 millimeters and 2 13 millimeters that go under here, that hold it in there. And where's the other one? Where is it? I think it's still in the car. It probably fell down. But anyways, one goes here. Here it is. Here's the other one. This motherfucker. So there's actually 2 13s and 2 10s. Just keep that in mind. That's what it looks like after. You have to move this module out of the way, and you gotta move that vent out of the way. There's actually another 7mm bolt that's holding it up there. You lift it and you push it out. Then you end up with something like this. Now it's just Now it's just a matter of swapping everything. Now I already swapped this module here. That actuator came with it. I swapped the blower motor resistor. I swapped that little vent tube that keeps the blower motor cool, and it's ready. It's ready to go back in. So here we go. Back to work. Back in. So to sum it down, there's a 7mm, like some Chevy right there, that you gotta move so that you can move this plastic up. There's that 7mm holding it in. There's that 7mm holding it in, and then there's that 7mm in there that's holding this module in. Once you have those 4 7s out and the 2 10s and the 2 13mm on the bottom, everything unplugged, you should just be able to pull it up. Alright, remember, you got a heater core in here, you got a evaporator in here, so all that has to be out, refrigerant recovered, coolant drained before you can pull this out, or you're gonna make a mess in here and it's not gonna be nice. So we got actuator in there, we got this module in there, another actuator, we got the blower motor resistor, and we got a fucking turbo in here. I don't know why there's a turbo in the back, but just kidding, I know that's a blower motor. Well, it's back in. Now it's just a matter of putting all my panels back in and recharging it with Freon, topping off the coolant, and making sure everything works. But actually, before I put any panels back in, I'm gonna make sure everything is working as it should, and then we can button it up. So, vámonos. Scotty Kilmer. Just under the car, making sure there's no coolant leaks, making sure that heater core that we got was good. I know the AC was good, I recharged it, the vacuum leak test passed, and I recharged it and it's blowing cold. So looks like everything's working. Make sure you don't have a heater core leaking, an evaporator core leaking. Make sure the AC is blowing cold back here. Make sure the blower motor is working, and make sure those actuators are working. But I'm gonna go ahead and check those with a scanner later on. I mean, this is the customer's bought part, so that's all I can do here. Right now it's time to button everything back up, and that's it. Call this a video. Alright, so we're all buttoned up here. That's it for this rear HVAC unit. This is gonna help you if you need to do an evaporator core, a heater core, some actuators, an expansion valve in the back. Anything that has to do with the rear AC, this video should help you out. So if you guys like it, give the video a thumbs up. If you guys don't like it, give the video a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that little notification bell. That's gonna let you know when I drop videos. I'm gonna get back on this shit and we're gonna do it. That's it for this one. See you guys on the next one. Peace.